Interesting. Interesting. Let's see. Once again, it doesn't actually have. So let's check that. Check out that PDF I downloaded. Well, that was a waste of time. There's nothing in there either. So the numbers are completely independent, it seems. Alright, so what we could say is then, looking at that, is that the numbers are not in any particular order, but they're arranged in such that when one number is picked, the next one would be an opposite, but the opposite number, that would become the opposite side. So in other words, if, I'm assuming he refers to Pascal. So if the number came up, like if you picked a number, and it came up as 2, and let's say that it was in, let's say you picked a number, first number was 4, so 4 would be blank. The next one you picked would be 2. Of course, though, it is also in a pattern of, because it would have been picked from odd, even odd to distribute it. So we'll say that, the first one would be 8. So 8. The next one would be so 8, and then 8 and 9 would go over here. So the next one here would be, let's say 13, and so 14 would go here, and then say 2, and so 5 would go here, and you just do that all the way across. So I think then, assuming that, we can maybe create something that can do that for us in terms of how things should be arranged. Create a program that will actually do what supposedly they're suggesting Pascal did when he created the way roulette is set up. So we're going to create a new project. And we're going to say the console project, obviously. Go. Next, C++ project title will be 72 RW. So 72 roulette wheel. Leave everything else to that. Alright, so we have the main here. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and close this. I want to open up a new window, if we can. It won't let me. Well, damn. Can we open a new workspace? No. Alright, so let's go ahead and reopen that project then. Would have been nice being able to do multiple windows, but so let's damn, how do we, I guess we could put this on, let's say open this up and put it on a different yeah, there, so we can put it on a different thing here and we'll have to worry about that. Okay, so we need to have a file, let's see, include file IO. Was it FIO system for file in and out? Haven't used it in a while, so it's fstream, that's what it is. Fstream, alright. Okay, back over here. So fstream include I always wondered, does C++ have its own? So cstdlib has rand. I like my rand function better, so we'll use that. But I'll put it in here as a prototype, instead of that making a whole bunch of different headers and whatnot. So sources, we're gonna need range too then. Yeah. Oh no, we can make the range be whatever we input. So random, where are you? Random, show yourself, there you are. So, it'd be an int random range. Well, we do this one. You can also pass just a range thing though too. I've never used this before. I've always done it with this one. That's interesting. I think we'll use this for the damage processing. Because how I do it now is we actually get the actual range values and then set them to high and low in the damage function, and then use those in the int version with the 2 ints. So maybe we'll be able to simplify it a bit. Alright, so we got our prototype here, or rather that's the function. Put that down here, and we'll prototype it. So, now we need to have two, let's see, vector, and include string. Include cstdlib, and I believe we also need one more thing. I think it's stdio, but I'm not sure. Need to find main. If it's open, there it is. Or maybe cmath, ctime maybe. Alright, so let's srand, seed the random here, times 0. Actually, that should happen after we do the initialization stuff here. So vector even. So int vector int odds. So we'll just separate those into the groups there. So I believe we have to use modulus to find out if something's even or odd. Let's see. Alright, yeah, so if we have to go by 2, and if it's 0 then it's even, if it's 1 then it's odd, using the modulus operator. Alright, so this will be pretty easy to do now. So what we'll do is we'll actually make this so that we can use it for any, it can be used any number of ways, or any number of situations, not just a hard-coded 72 value, but also with a so now we want to do a count. Please enter a number of pockets to work with. Of course, that should go after the seed here, so. Get rid of that hello world. Alright, so then we need int input. Int I, int I2. I think that might be all we'll need. We'll see what happens as we go. I guess we also need a vector of numbers. So what will happen is, well, the numbers will go through, and each element, essentially what will happen is we'll take the first element, which will be element 0, which will be 1, and we'll say, okay, so we're going to use 1. Or rather, let's say the first element turns out to be 1, out of the random range that selects it. So, well, I don't know. Maybe, no, I don't know. trying to figure out how we can do this, because what we want to do is we want to have a set of numbers we can use, but we also want to be able to remove the numbers from that set of numbers that we can use once we've used that number and the corresponding higher numbers. So, like if it's 1, then we don't want to use 2. Or if it's 50, we don't want to use 51. If we've used 50, because those two will pair off on each other. And then we also want to be able to randomize the results. So, the first step is to get them into odds and evens. The second step is to take the numbers, and I guess so we don't need this. To take the numbers and then put them into the order they're going to be in, which will be the random order. So actually, no, we'll take this and we'll say our order, so calling numbers. But so we'll have this input, which will be what we do here. Count, or rather cin input. Alright, so now count. Separating inputs, numbers into evens and odds. Alright, so for I equals 0, I is less than input, or is less than or equal to input, and I is 1. And I plus plus. So if I modulus 2 equals 0 is even, else is odd. Alright, so if it's even, push back, or rather evens dot push back I. And if it's odds, it's an odd number, then odds dot push back I. So count, we'll do some, well, we already have that separate, well yeah, we'll do another series, another endl here. Let's do 2 endls up here. Save us time to use another count endl down here. So, printing even values. And then we do another for loop for I equals 0, I is less than size of evens, and I plus plus, count, evens dot add I. Do the same for odds now. and then we'll say count so if input equals 1, else return 0. Alright, so this is to say, so now if the values don't print correctly, we can just say no to stop working on it and stop running the program and do something else. Maybe fix it. So I want to go ahead and just build this program and see what happens. Time was not declared in this scope, so we need stdio. Or stdlib.h. Still. sran times 0. stdlib.h, cstdlib, and ctime. Of course, we're going to get errors like crazy because we have incomplete code. There's nothing in here about time not being added correctly, so what's the deal? Okay, so apparently didn't have the right thing, the right includes or something or other. Maybe I had a typo somewhere. I'll probably get rid of that. It's not using that anymore. At least not on this one. Alright, so let's go ahead and run it. Alright, so we're just going to do 36. Alright, so yeah, it does it correctly. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, blah blah blah, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. We're going to 0 anyway, though. Alright, so that works, and we know it works. So next, the next step is to do the random ordering, which is going to be a little more complicated. So, while Let's add that up here. Alright, well, be done is not true. If for I3, I2, well, we'll go I1, I guess. Let's use the first I. I is less than the size of we'll also add an I2 here as well. Size of evens dot size I plus plus I2 plus plus. So the I2 here is going to be used to track the how far we are in the sections, and because if you recall now, the larger sections are 11 pockets long, the shorter ones are 7. And on the 7 pockets, the orientation of the colors flip. And if we go back to our image here, so we have this will be the synonymous with the first block. So we have first 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we switch for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As you can see here, we have 22 black, and then we have another even here, which is red. So we have to keep that in consideration. So the first 11 of these will have alternating black-red, and then the last 7 will have alternating red-black. And so we're going to be putting that into there as well. So actually the this file here, or rather vector, should be string, not RT order, we'll call it. We'll let table order instead of int, because we'll have that as well. So there are several things we have to take into consideration here. First is that again, the shift from black to red as we go through the first 11 to the last 7. Then also we have to take into consideration that after 17 we have to add in the 0, 0, or the 0 whatever number pocket, and then we also have to take whatever value we have, and we have to put it into the opposing similar even or odd block on the opposite side. So in other words, if the first value is first value chosen is 4, then we have to put 5 as the first value for block 3. And then we have to remove 5 from the list of numbers to be able to be used. So we not only alternate, so well, let's not do it by size, let's do it by input. So input. If we do it by size, we're going to end up causing a crash, because we'll end up taking it down to 0 or past the point where I is at, because the size of evens is going to be different every time as we go through, because we're removing values. Alright, so Let me hit comment here. So, actually, I'll make this a comment block. Things to take into consideration. So after, okay, so numbers start, let's see. If we go back to here, it starts on an even, so we want to start with an even. And that holds true even, yeah, so that's true on other blocks as well. Alright, on the last 7 pockets, reds are, or evens are red, and odds are black. A section, or rather a block, is 18 pockets long. A section, a long section, is 11 pockets long. A short section and a block is block contains 2 sections. Alright. After a number is selected, it should be added to the order and then removed. The next highest opposite type, if odd, then even, if even, then odd, should be added to the opposite or opposing type block, if block is, or same type block, on opposite type block. So if we had more than, if we had, let's say 6 blocks, then we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would actually not be the next block. It'd be, it would literally be this, just on opposite side of wheels. So in other words, if we had block 1 on a 6 block table, then the opposite 1 would be block. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, in that case, no. In that case, it would be an even opposite. Huh. So it has to be a multiple of 2, or a power of 2, rather. So it'd be 2, 4, 8. So you have an even number of pockets on each side of the table. Because with 6, you'd have 3 on each side. Table should contain an even number of blocks. Although might not actually be the power of 2 there. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is actually 16. So multiple of 2. So we're also going to add in number of pockets to work with. And then to get the number of blocks, so we'll say, instead of input, it'll be pockets, and then int blocks. Must be multiple of 18. So we should probably add in a valid here as well. So while b valid, we'll go and do the formatting thing there, fix the formatting. So if pockets modulus 18 or equals 1 counts pockets is not a multiple of 18. Now here's a question. Well, for the moment, there are some things that would have to be changed in order for me to use SC on other operating systems. Like, for instance, not using clear, the system clear screen or whatever it is, or system pause. But since we're just doing this right now for Windows, we'll add that in as well. System CLS else if it is a multiple of 18, then b valid equals true. So we do for blocks would be, so blocks equals pockets divided by 18. I believe that's how we go. Alright, let's go ahead and run that again. Everything else realigned here. Let's go ahead and rebuild it. I'll go and add input up here anyway. Next we can combine all these into one thing, can't we? See blocks, blocks, inputs, I2. Put them all in one line, save some space. Alright, it's compiled, and I'm gonna go ahead and restart the recording real quick. Alright, so, got it. Let's go and run it now. So I entered in 2. That's interesting. So it didn't actually work. Let's see. Find the multiple. Find if a value is a multiple of another value. So wait, what? Bool is multiple of 5. Oh, this is a function, I see. Okay, so it should be 0, not 1. Duh. I know it was with module says couldn't figure out it should be a 1 or a 0. It's 0. Build and run. Well, we could do this way and then say if it's greater than or equal to 1. Nope, still doesn't do it right. Let's put some brakes in. Didn't even trip those things. Oh, because we have to go over here. Duh. Alright, where's the watch list? View, let's see, toolbars. Debug. I never actually used a watch list with code blocks before. Let's see. Debugging Windows. Okay. I was just over there. Debug. Oh, there it is down here. Okay, watches. Oh, cool. So it actually automatically watches everything, all the variables you have. Cool. Well, we want to do this. So it should be 0. Oh, whoops. Oh, logic error there. Okay, so what the hell? So how do I fix this thing here? Abort. Damn it, what's going on? So somehow I managed to kind of crash this thing. Well, we've got that saved, so we can just close and reopen it. I'll have to try and remember from memory everything I've changed for the changelog. That's always annoying. Had to do it quite a bit though. What in the bloody hell is using up my CPU like mad? Oh, play claw. Well, no wonder. Of course, we play claw because I'm recording. What a dumbass I am. Speaking of this stuff, let's see what's going on here. Down to the third one. Alright. Tis a going. Let's open this back up. Build it. And run it. Cannot open output file, permission denied. Very strange. Now see, that didn't actually rebuild it. Errors, permission denied. Oh, it's probably stuck open for some reason. Maybe that's why. Yep, there it is, stuck open. Alright, so, 72. 4 blocks will be used. Awesome. We're at 0 though. Alright, so put another system pause there. We'll also go ahead and do another clear screen after that. So alright, so that's good. Now we gotta get back down into this thing here. So we also need, since we're doing it this way, a counter for red and black. So that'll be I3. We'll add that here as well. And add it down here. Alright. So, again, assuming an even number of blocks. Well, that's true, though. It has to be an even number of blocks as well. Or rather, yeah, an even, I guess, would be correct. Multiple of, well, yeah, see, multiple of 2, though, would include 6, and 6 won't work. So it has to be something that will give you, well, 2 is 1 and 1, though. That's not even. Huh. Well, let me visualize this. We have 6 blocks. So we have a wheel. We have 6 blocks. We divide it into sixths. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, see, that would put the 1 on the 4 instead of on 3 or 5. So maybe it doesn't have to be an odd or same type, but just the ones across from it. Which is what I put there. To the block on the opposite side of wheel. So let's see. Alright, so I think that's all the explanation that's needed. So essentially we have to now create some code that will do this. So first of all, we need to track the blocks. So we need to track the blocks. I'm going to write down what we need to track. Well, I'll put up here. what needs to be tracked? The current block, the number of pockets in current section for color flip. So we need to track the block of the current one into the next one. And we need to track the number of the pocket that we're currently on to implement the flip of the color. And we also need to track the number chosen at random and its pair. Considered by code. Alright, so first thing we need to do though is we'll work on the most basic thing first, which is the random, choosing a random number. So we use the random that we have up here. Actually, we have to make a random something to hold the random number, so let's call it rand, I guess. Or no, irand, so we don't have any conflicting names there. So, irand equals random, and they put in the low, which is the first number available in odd, to the well, it should be 1 to 70. Well, that's